Hi everyone, my name is Jasmeet Singh. Today I am presenting a case study, Trusting AI Under Professional Pressure. The presentation analyzes a real situation where I trusted an AI system, specifically ChatGPT, during my early professional experience as a software engineer at HCL Tech in 2022. The focus is not on whether AI is good or bad, but why trust emerged and how it developed, and how trust theory helps explain or fail to fully explain that decision. So, after completing my bachelor's degree, I joined HCL Tech in 2022 as a software engineer and was assigned to a backend project for Circo Australia. The project involved high delivery pressure with a very short onboarding window of about 10 days. During this time, a new technology stack, that was Go language, was introduced mid-project. To cope up with this, I independently chose to use ChatGPT as a supplementary engineering support alongside of official documentations, obviously, and with my senior developer guidance as well. But how I used ChatGPT at that time? In a practice, my use of ChatGPT was task specific and technical. I used it to understand basic Go syntax like idiomatic patterns, and like to clarify some concepts like concurrency, Go routines, channels, which were heavily used in the code base that I was working on. I also relied on it to translate backend logic from Java and JavaScript into Go, and to interpret existing production code written by senior engineers. Importantly, ChatGPT was used to support understanding, not to replace the engineering judgment that I have to make at that time. So, where trust theory applies, trust theory basically helps explain why I relied on this system. First, I was skeptical about AI, and there was a case of situational and proxy trust. AI acted as a temporary bridge with a larger socio-technical system that included senior developers review process. Second, perceived competence and predictability emerged through consistent, technically coherent responses. Third, there was a willingness to accept the risk of using GPT, balancing potential errors against immediate professional demands. Ultimately, this was a decision made under uncertainty. Trust didn't appear immediately. Like, I began with the skepticism, then cautiously tested the system responses over time, tested it for different cases. I relied on it for more drafts and feedbacks. Eventually, trust became more calibrated, like I kind of relied on it after adjusting it continuously based on outcomes and verification. This reflects trust as a dynamic process shaped by experience, but not a binary choice, I can say. To manage risk and several safeguards, because I was working in a company where NDA was signed. So AI was used as a decision support, not like to get me the whole code, only for learning purpose. All code went through senior developer reviews. Output were cross-referenced with code documentations and project standards, and I used iterative questioning to refine understanding. These safeguards helped me ensure the trust remained bounded and accountable, because I cannot blindly trust AI at that time because it was a big decision. So the outcomes were largely positive, as I onboarded faster, contributed to production code earlier, and the bridged gaps in understanding complex systems. However, there were also risks, including automation bias, shallow understanding, and the possibility of misinformation. Recognizes recognizing these risks was essential to maintain the trust. So, the limitations of trust theory. This experience also highlights limits, like most models assume human intent and motivation, which AI systems do not possess. AI opacity and rapidly evolving capabilities also challenge fixed assessments of competence. Finally, the ethical responsibility and accountabilities are distributed across people and system, not located in the AI itself. For more broader implications, this case suggests that AI can act as a cognitive support in software engineering, accelerating learning and problem solving. However, this requires a proper ethical framework, proper tool integration, and education that prepares engineers to collaborate critically with AI, not depend on it. So finally, in conclusion, my experience shows that trust in AI system is not absolute, but as a study partner, as a dynamic and context dependent, especially if you are under some kind of deadline or pressure, trust requires continuous calibration, like kind of critical engagement and human oversight, otherwise it can result very bad. This case highlights AI potential to accelerate professional development while reinforcing the need for understanding of trust on technical systems. Thank you.